Plaintiff Ryan Barnett met the defendant in 6th grade, and they were best friends until Ryan found a picture of the defendant in bed with his girlfriend. Ryan suing the defendant for rent, a security deposit, and late fees. Defendant Pierce Steffen says Ryan is extremely controlling, and his ex told Pierce that Ryan physically abused her. Pierce claims he paid his rent every month, and therefore he doesn't owe Ryan anything.
Start with you.
Okay, well, Pierce used to be my best friend until I found a photo of him and my girlfriend in bed.
How long had you all been friends?
Well, we've been friends ever since 6th grade, middle school.
How did that go down?
I saw it through his Snapchat. I heard through the grapevine that they have slept together.
What do you mean? What on Snapchat did you see? I know these fools didn't put it on Snapchat.
Well, I actually saw it under his messages.
Saying what?
Well, I saw a photo of them, but.
Go ahead.
So then again, I stormed out of work and proceeded my way to the apartment where I confronted him. He lied straight to my face and denied that it even happened with photo proof. That just shows what type of person he is. Beside that, progressing back to the beginning, he's always been an alcoholic. I always would come home from work, seeing that he would, throw parties without my permission. He'd break glass on the floor that I have noticed when I would wake up sometimes. Leave the apartment a mess. And even I had at one time a police officer knock on my bedroom door.
When did you find out about this incident with your girlfriend?
It was more towards the end of our, separation.
Tendency? Okay. Yeah. And what did she say?
She, at first, of course, was shocked, and she eventually admitted to it, so.
All right, sir, you want to talk about
yeah,
any
sure.
of this? What do you want to say?
Ryan's a controlling guy, first of all. Prior to them breaking up, him and his ex-girlfriend, she used to tell me how he would grab her by the throat and pin her up against the wall and
Lies.
scream at her. Besides that fact,
Did you mention it to him?
I'm sorry?
Did you mention that to him?
To him? No,
Yes.
It was none of my business because I didn't believe it.
Did you tell her that?
That I didn't believe it?
No, did you tell her it's none of my business?
No.
Okay. Why wouldn't you? Because you're saying that about your best friend. If your best friend's woman comes to you confiding because she wants help and or advice, I'm sure she didn't come to you just to tell you that for gossip. She came to tell you that for either help or some way assist in that not happening again. Could you talk to your friend? Could you talk to your best friend? Because he did this to me. Can I tell you what he did and what do you suggest I do? He told you for a reason.
Pierce used to be my best friend until I found a photo of him and my girlfriend in bed.
How long had you all been friends?
Well, we've been friends ever since 6th grade, middle school.
How did that go down?
I saw it through his Snapchat. I heard through the grapevine that they have slept together.
I know these fools didn't put it on Snapchat.
Well, I actually saw it under his messages.
Plaintiff Ryan Barnett says he was best friends with the defendant until he saw a picture of the defendant in bed with his girlfriend.
But go ahead, sir. She came to you and then you didn't even tell him. Wouldn't even tell him. Go ahead, best friend.
The whole reason why I did not tell Ryan was because I didn't believe it particularly. I didn't want to believe that this good guy...
Did you tell her that?
No, I just
Right.
kept it to myself.
Okay.
So I didn't
You said
tell
it
him.
first, the reason you did because it wasn't your business. That's what you said.
Yeah,
when
I was
first
just there
asked.
for her to tell me, correct. And I wasn't going to bring it up to him until, after I seen what the stress was doing to him, from moving out of his parents into the real world individually with me and, having to actually pay bills and, just be an adult, that how the stress was eating away at him mentally. And he would, when he would get...
What was he doing?
He would hit things, he would get in my face. He's told me to kill myself multiple times.
Lies.
What were you all arguing about multiple times?
Well, we're two very separate people, but alike in a lot of different groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
We're both, we're into cars. That's how we first became friends even. And, I had a different lifestyle than he did growing up. He always had his parents. I never really had mine. He always had someone to fall back on too. I've never had that. It's just...
And so that's the reason you think he told you to kill yourself several times.
No.
That's what my question was, why do you think he told you to kill yourself several times? And what were you all arguing about those times that he told you to kill yourself?
Us and what was going on in the apartment, the partying, having the friends over,
Got it. All right. Didn't appreciate how you were living in the apartment. Got it. All right. You want to tell me why you're suing him about rent and security deposit?
Well, through February through August, our time, he just really never upheld his end of the spectrum throughout rent or anything. He had a few jobs throughout.
That's why you were stressed, huh? Because he didn't pay his bill.
No, he did not.
He said you got out and you couldn't pay your bills, and that caused stress, and you were hitting the walls because you were stressed out because you couldn't pay your bills. You said it was him that couldn't pay his bill, and perhaps that's what stressed you out, if I'm to believe that. So tell me the agreement on rent. What was his share to be?
Everything was supposed to be split half.
What would his share?
It would be $325 of $650.
Okay. And in February, did he pay?
He did pay a small portion, which was put towards other expenses.
Put towards other expenses,
Yes.
not the $325.
No. Nope.
All right. But that's what he was bound to. Yep. And what is the deposit? Did he pay?
He did not pay the deposit.
His share was $325 for deposit as well?
Yep.
Nice.
All right. And what months did he pay from February through September?
He was off and on. I mean, he paid maybe $100. He actually gave me a fake $100 bill at one time trying to pay rent.
Yeah.
You did?
No. That was a lie right there.
Federal crime.
You have anything, sir? You have a list or the months in which he failed to pay, because it's going to be hard to grant you a judgment by you saying he paid off and on. I don't know how to grant you a judgment on off and on, here and there. You have to be very specific.
The highlighted should be the ones.
That he owes?
Yeah.
And the amount and the balance, okay, you did. All right, and so, sir, this still doesn't tell me what months he failed to pay. I'm not going to look at your balance sheet or the balance sheet of the landlord and determine what months he paid or the amount he failed to pay. That's a balance sheet for the entire residency, which included you. So I don't know from that list what he failed to pay. Do you have anything that describes precisely what he failed to pay
He did
month
not.
to month?
No, I do not, being for the fact that he really never upheld any
How
portion.
do you suppose I am to determine the amounts he paid if you don't know?
Well, the amounts shown on this paper are showing what I paid. So if it's in full or if it's not in full, it will determine whether he helped me out pay that portion.
Yeah, and you want me to do all that math?
I'm-
No, you have to prove your own case.
Plaintiff Ryan Barnett says he was best friends with the defendant until he saw a picture of the defendant in bed with his girlfriend.
Yes, sir. What do you have to say?
So after he moved out, I received 2 different sheets of paper on my door. That being said, Ryan was the guy where I would give him the cash. He would go pay, whatever bills that need to be paid for the apartment. After he moved out, I have a notice to quit or pay rent sheet on my door. That's for $1,093.
For what month? When did he move out? Let's start there.
Let's see, was it September? Or no, end of October he moved out. That's what it was. And this was October
When did you move
14th.
out, sir? He said
End of
September,
September.
and then he said end of October. Those are 2 very different things.
Should be
When did you
September
move
27th.
out? Pardon?
September 27th.
Okay. You all don't have your facts together. You can't tell me which month he paid what or what he missed. He paid sometimes. He paid a little. I don't know what that means. September 27th, you moved out.
Yep.
Did you pay September's rent
Yes.
to the landlord?
Yes.
You have any evidence of that?
It should be on this bill sheet that I.
But he says there was an eviction notice that came in September.
That was his total that he did not pay that I paid.
But this is more than 2
From the landlord?
Yeah, because I paid my portion, and that was.
And the landlord gave it just to him, the eviction notice?
No, he signed me actually off the lease. And I have
Okay, that's
paper
what I'm
evidence.
missing. He allowed you to come off the lease. The landlord allowed you to get off the lease
Yep.
and him become the sole tenant.
Yes, and he was
All
aware of
right.
that.
You have that release?
Yes.
What date did he grant that release, the landlord or she?
It was on September 27th.
September 27th, you were no longer responsible.
Nope.
So up until September 27th, you were responsible. And what month did you get the eviction for?
October 14th, 2019.
So you didn't pay October.
No, neither one of us did, no.
Right, he was gone. That's why he didn't.
But this is, the amount on here,
What's that?
the amount on here is greater than 1 month's rent.
All right, but you didn't pay the 1 month.
Yeah, the 1 month, but that's the month
I understand.
prior
Why
to
didn't you
that.
pay that? If you paid every month like you claimed when you all were roommates, why didn't you pay that month?
I was out of the apartment before this notice was even granted to my door.
No, you were responsible for it. You didn't see this? You never got this?
No, I signed it.
Okay, you were responsible. So why didn't you pay for your responsibilities? He says you never paid your responsibilities for the most part, most of the months. He can't tell me how or how much, however, but he says you didn't pay him other months. And now we have evidence. Let's see your eviction notice that you were evicted for not paying time he moved out. Within 3 weeks of him moving out, they evicted you because you didn't pay. Any reason you didn't pay?
I wasn't there.
Okay. I just described to you how you had released it and you were responsible, and your answer is because you weren't there. Even though you were responsible, sir, I don't care if you came home all night or if you moved out, you were still responsible. You didn't pay. Your reasoning is off. More likely than not, he's telling the truth and you're not. That's how you decide. If there is no real evidence to prove it, you go with who sounds more likely to be telling the truth. He does. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I just don't know how he can just say the things he did up front. Lie straight to my face and even in court.
Yeah, sure. I mean, still take a bullet for you.
And
You know,
sleep with my girlfriend.
10 years of friendship. You do that to me?
You're telling me that.
Yeah. Man.
Sure, you were choking her too when you're sleeping with her.
Who was it choking?
You, my girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sure she'd
yeah.
tell you a lot more in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She did.
glad to hear.
Yeah. Do it again.
Plaintiff Lewis Wade says the defendant is his son, and Lewis is thankful that he's alive because he nearly died in a car accident. Lewis is suing his son for unpaid rent and a towing fee. Defendant Saquon Brooks says as he was driving home from work, he fell asleep behind the wheel and hit a pole. Saquon claims when he woke up, the pole was already in his face and he had to be rescued from the vehicle.
Start with you.
Yes, Judge Mathis. This is my son Saquon. I try to teach him the best I could, you know, being a responsible young man as I'm living at my home. Judge Mathis, he's not a bad kid. He came in to live with me in 2016, and he asked me to use the car to go back and forth to work. You know, I agree with that, so he go back and forth to work. But I laid him down some rules for him to do and not to do in my car. Okay, my son had an accident. I thank God that he's here today because he flipped the car and the pole came down on the car. I had seen the accident like 2 weeks later, and he wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the way the seat was leaned back. So,
You have a picture of anything?
nah.
Okay.
I do.
Yes.
You do?
Thank you.
Wow. That driver's seat is the part that is most caved in. Ooh.
Defendant Saquon Brooks is being sued by his father, who claims Saquon is lucky to be alive after he nearly died in a car accident.
What happened here?
I was on my way home from work, fell asleep behind the wheel, long day at work.
What time?
It was during the day. I don't know specifically exactly the time, but it was during the day, afternoon. It was really hot. It was a summer day, doing landscaping. I fell asleep behind the wheel, hit a pole. By the time I woke up, the pole was already in my face. I couldn't really do much about it. I got stuck upside down inside the car. The only way I was able to get out, somebody who witnessed it cut the seatbelt off of me, and a few other people had to lift the car for me to crawl out the window.
Okay. You want to give me any other background before we get into the rent?
Yes, Your Honor. I want to start off by saying I love my father. I feel like the biggest issue between us two is we don't know each other. At the age of 8, my mom and my father, they ended up separating. I didn't see him very often till 6th grade. I ended up living with him. After that, I really didn't see him much until I was probably 17, 18. We really didn't have much of a relationship, no communication, not much for us to really talk about from in between. How
did you come to move with him?
My mom and I, we were living in Delaware. They ended up moving out. I had no place to go.
Who moved out? You saying your mother and her
Oh, yes.
husband?
Well, we all moved out.
How old were you then?
I was 18 at the time, yes.
Okay.
I ended up moving with my father. He was helping me out, like he said. Things really didn't go well between us, especially after the accident.
What about before?
Before, it was still hectic because we didn't understand each other.
You argued a lot, or what? What do you mean?
No,
it was hectic. I don't know what that means.
Oh, hectic meaning it was just hard for us to connect. We really we just didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not really giving me anything to go with.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. Does that
There
mean
was
you
no
all
father
didn't
and
speak in
son
the house to
bond.
each other, or you'd sit there and watch the game and just be quiet because you didn't connect, or was it we didn't connect and therefore we argued all the time? That's what I was trying to find out.
It's not that we didn't connect, as he says. It's basically his mom lived in Delaware with her husband. I was a truck driver. Well, I still am a truck driver. And I was out on the road a lot, okay? But when my son needed somewhere to stay, he came and stayed with me, okay? Which I had, other family members living with me also. So my son, being is that our relationship was more or less me being out there on the road, and that's why he didn't see me that much, because I've always been in his life.
You're a cross-country driver?
I was, but that's when he was younger. Now that he's older, I'm more local, and that's when he came and stayed with me at age in 2016. And being that he came and stayed with me in 2016, because like he said, he didn't have nowhere to go, I'm not going to see my son out in the street. But I have rules and regulations upon my house. And I asked for him to follow the rules and regulations. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. The kids today want to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? No matter what, I still love my son. I love all my kids.
Yeah.
So
that's why I was trying to get in
in
to be specific, and that's perhaps why he wasn't. And typically when a young person tells me that about a parent and they can't get specific, it's because they don't want to follow the household rules of a parent. They don't understand that if you don't want to follow the rules, you get your own place.
Right.
Whatever the rules are.
Right.
All right, so perhaps that's why he couldn't tell me what the problem was. So we'll move on to the rent and the towing fee.
Okay, well, when he came to live with me, I let him know there's going to be some
Did
responsibility.
you say the amount?
Yes,
How much?
$35 every time you got paid,
Okay.
which came out every week, 35 every week. That's nothing. Okay.
140 a month.
Right, 140 a month. So being that he got the 140 a month, he couldn't pay me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but that's a lie.
What was the agreement?
There was no verbal agreement. There was no written agreement. There was no agreement at all. The
Okay.
agreement was I was going to help you until you got on your feet.
Help him?
He was going to help
him.
me
Until
I got on my feet.
All right. And you didn't get a job, or
No, I had a job.
you weren't on your feet with your job?
No.
What else did you need other than
place
the
to
job?
stay. I
Go
wasn't trying to
ahead,
live with
sir.
my
I don't know
father
what
all my
else he
life.
needed. Go ahead. He had a job, so you should
He
pay
had
him
a
where
job.
you live when you have
when
a
he
job,
got
sir.
a job, I told him he had to pay 35 a week. Okay, which was the breakdown. Okay, being that
Beginning when?
beginning October 16th.
Okay.
Defendant Saquon Brooks is being sued by his father, who claims Saquon is lucky to be alive after he nearly died in a car accident.
That's October 16. Did he ever pay?
No, he never.
Well, how did you allow? What were you saying between October 16 and October 18?
I said, son, like when he got paid, I'll be like, son, you got any money for me? No. He always came up with excuses.
For 2 years?
For 2 years.
Never gave you anything.
He never gave me, he may have gave me a 20 here, 20 here, but other than that, he didn't give me nothing.
So in 2 years, you haven't given him anything?
No, because like I said, there was no verbal or written agreement.
Right, and he was to help you get on your feet.
Exactly.
All right, and you haven't gotten on him after 2 years. You won't have any feet then. You must not have any feet. How far did you go in school, young man?
I ended up not finishing school.
Right, that's why you don't have a job decent enough to take care of yourself. All right, tell me about the towing fee you're suing him for.
Yeah, okay, as I was saying about him taking me to see the car, it was a towing fee of $300. I had to pay that day. So I paid that. He said he was going to pay me, and he never paid it.
Where you said it at, sir?
Again, no verbal or written agreement. I never agreed to it.
You caused it, though.
Yes, I agreed to that.
So why do you think you can cause damage to somebody's property, cost them money, and not have to pay them?
It wasn't the
What's
fact
wrong
that I
with
didn't
you?
think
What's
I
wrong
owed
with
him.
you?
Nothing's
What's the
wrong
matter
with
with
me.
you?
Nothing.
Why
at
don't you
all.
think you should pay him?
I'm
Why do
fine.
you think you can live with somebody for 2 years while working and not give him any money? What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me.
Maybe you need to go back to school
I just
because
finished
your
my
thought
school.
process isn't working. When are you going
is.
back? Are you going back to school?
I just finished my GED. I'm going back to school for financing. So
When?
as soon as I can.
For what? Finance.
Yes, sir.
You might want to look into something else because you can't count.
I'm good.
Have
I
a
got
good day. $2,050. I believe you. Your son has an unreasonable outlook on life, and finance might not be here. Well, maybe that's exactly what he needs to major in finance. So let's pray for him that he'll learn some finance this time and know that when he works and gets money, he has to pay some rent. He damaged people's property, he has to pay them. So let's pray. Everybody pray with me that he'll understand that as a young man. Have a good day.
Yeah, son, I love you. This is only a lesson to be learned from, son. And I want you to just get everything together. You'll be all right. And I want us to do what we've been doing. That's keeping our relationship going.
I always loved you because you were my father. I truthfully feel as if this was just unnecessary. You could have came to me man to man and we could have talked this out. I struggled just like you struggled too. I gotta work the same way you gotta work. I was gonna look out for you. You're my father. That's what we're supposed to do.